I know I promised you guys yesterday that I was going to sit down with a cup of tea and spill all the tea on the health retreat, but honestly, I just feel like I'm kind of tired of even giving my energy to them at all. I think I've either given them plenty of business just through mentioning their name, which they're probably stoked with, or the truth will come out in the right timing anyways. And yeah, justice always is served, and I feel like someone along the way is going to figure out that I was completely abused, manipulated, and just mind fucked the entire time I was there. I'm pretty sure the staff themselves knew exactly what they were doing, the mind games they were playing, and it was all in an attempt to control power or to keep their team ahead of everyone, which is very clearly done. And I'm sure other participants of the experience, or whatever you want to call it, the retreat, were clued in on it as well. But I just don't think anyone actually mentioned it, or if they did mention it, they were met with resistance or pushback, because the senior team, they're not stupid people. Like, I know they're intelligent. They obviously are business savvy. They know what they're doing from a business front. But in terms of actually having integrity, I just don't think they do. I guess the only main thing I do want to mention, and why I felt so disappointed with my experience there, because so many other people give them 5-star raving reviews saying such an amazing experience, blah blah blah. Good for them. But one of the main things that I felt so disappointed with is that I feel so passionately about mental health that usually you just try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. You just trust and have faith that people have good hearts. And unfortunately, I just think that greed got the better of these people. And maybe they don't even realize that. Maybe it's like an unconscious thing. But as simple as it goes is how this all unfolded was I was in a psychiatric ward before I went to this health retreat last year. And on the day that I left the psychiatric ward, I went straight to this health retreat. So they knew 100% that I was coming from a psychiatric ward to their facilities for a 29-day intensive health retreat. I didn't know that I was going there, as in I didn't know what the program was, anything like that. My family had arranged for me to go, which I'm grateful for. They paid for it and everything. So I have no ill feelings towards my family about it. I personally do feel though that my family was manipulated, or maybe like their arm was twisted or something, or they just were misinformed about if it was going to be the right environment for me. Because of course, if someone says, I'll give you $20,000, most people would say, yeah, we can definitely heal her. We can fix her. Yeah, no worry. Send her here. It'll be a great opportunity for her. Yet until that person actually goes, it's like, do you not have a conscience going, maybe this actually isn't the right environment for someone who is deeply traumatized, who needs to just rest and recover and not go into a full-on consciousness level up, let's dive into hardcore trauma, let's do breath work and ice baths and all of this really intense stuff. I was just my brain was so fried. I kind of just was going with the flow, trying to keep up with everyone. And I kind of was, because I'm just an intelligent person anyways. But the amount of scoffs and smirks and things like that I got when I was there, because I was exhausted. I would run late to every meal. I would have to ask extra questions in the classroom. And it's just people are so freaking ignorant and just lack total empathy and compassion for anyone who struggles with mental health. People were at that retreat because, they're recovering from whatever they're recovering from. Could be divorce, relationship breakdowns, alcoholism, drug addictions, gambling addictions. Everyone had different reasons for being there. And I'm not putting myself on a pedestal going, oh, psychosis is the worst of them all. I'm absolutely not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that people who have been in a psychiatric ward, or who get these diagnoses of bipolar, schizophrenia, BPD, where there is heightened sensitivity, potentially people are delusional or hallucinate, those kind of people get painted with a brush so quickly that they, most of the time, from my experience, just get completely dismissed. People will not believe what you are telling them, even if it is true. It's like, why can you not just sit and listen to what someone is telling you, even if you think they're delusional or they're off with the fairies or all of these bullshit accusations that I was basically fronted with. I had multiple staff members speak to me so inappropriately. And again, it's going to be my word versus their word. And of course, it's not documented anywhere because I'm sure they don't have like security cameras in the bedrooms, or they didn't have me like mic'd up. And I wish I did. I wish I had a GoPro on me the whole time so I could have just monitored and documented the whole shit show. Oh my gosh. Again, I complained about a number of staff. Fortunately, because I'm a smart person, I sent emails with complaints. I sent complaints via email. So I actually do have paper trail of this stuff. So if there's any government officials that come across this video and actually want to understand what the hell happened to me and why I kept getting thrown in and out of psychiatric wards, unless you guys were involved in it as well, and this is just some super messed up Australian government shit show. Like, honestly, now I am probably starting to sound a bit like conspiracy theorist, but honestly, who knows how deep the rabbit hole goes. I think I'm just so at my wit's end with how much hypocrisy and bullshit exists in the world. And obviously you got to start local, and I guess local to me at this point is all of Australia. Because I just don't think that even the people at the health retreats, like, they're too small of a fish to fry at this point. It's like, I gotta go the big guns. Gotta have a meeting with the Australian Prime Minister or the bloody whoever's in charge of like the health department or mental health commission. Seriously, I would love to have a meeting with you. I would love to give you some feedback on how bullshit your mental health facilities are. Even if you think you're doing the best you can, well, you have a lot of areas for improvement, honestly. Unless you've firsthand been a psychiatric patient, then you really have no clue what the fuck you guys are on about. I don't care how much advice you take from psychiatrists. They're just as loopy as the next person. Honestly, I could go on a tangent about this, but I don't want to get myself more angry. I just want to have a nice chilled day. So who knows, maybe I will talk about these types of topics more in the future, because they are very, very important. And I feel like people with lived experience need to be taken a lot more seriously. We are not all delusional, off with the fairies, making things up. A lot of us do remember the horrific experiences that you put us through. I'm sure there's other people who've been in my exact scenario who feel that we should genuinely be compensated financially for all the bullshit you guys have put us through. It destroys people's lives. It ends people's lives. This kind of treatment leads to people committing suicide. And if you can't put two and two together and figure that out yourself, then you really need to have a stern look in the mirror and ask yourself, are these people seriously mentally unstable, or are they just being unsupported and not having the right guidance and people around them who will genuinely care, offer compassion? It's really not that hard to be a good human, except people are actually scared of people who are different. And what do I mean by different? What? Someone who's perceiving reality in a different way to you, someone that you perceive as crazy, insane, psychopath, witch, alien, shapeshifter. Like, it doesn't really matter what terminology or language you want to use. As simple as it gets in layman's terms, it's basically something or someone that you are scared of. So instead of facing it head on or trying to meet it where it's at, you decide, we'll lock it up. And yes, I'm using the word it because you've gone beyond treating people with respect and treating people like humans. It feels like you treat us, the people who end up in psychiatric wards, prisons, everywhere else where you institutionalize us, as less than human, and it's absolutely outrageous. So yeah, I'll definitely talk more about this sort of stuff in the future, but it's enough for today.